Hello and welcome back to my channel where I talk about little everything I want to talk about. And today I want to talk about my biggest army I have made using the Kraken Knights and the idea from the Lego vending machine of what they used for weapon and shields and how they look. Now, first a little bit about them, that it's clear that they have been inspired a little bit about taking the idea of Vikings and turn them into like a knight faction, and I really like that. So this is what I've tried to do by combining it with the Viking village plus some older Lego Vikings I was able to get my hands on. But one of the minifigs was using a cutlass, so many also compared them to pirates, and I wanted to try to incorporate that idea into it while building out my army, and it's probably going to grow a little bit more in the future. But the idea that there should be a combination of pirate and Vikings culture was really interesting to me, and also makes it kind of fun to make these seafaring warriors. So as you can see, they are using both whips and cutlasses, and then having the shield and then some helmet on. And this is basically what I've been trying to do, is making a faction that looks like a rough, like a military faction, but still having the culture of the Vikings, whilst having some aspect of piracy on it. You can see it actually. This is one of the better one there. You can see I've given him an eye patch to symbolize that he is like a lookout pirate type of character. So let's go over each of the factions. Now, these of course are the vanilla thing to come with. I know there's not the same heads, but I just like these. Since they're covered up, I think they fit them really well. So they come with the shield and then of course a weapon. And the idea of my factions is they're kind of divided into different factions overall. With the first faction I want to talk about is my Berserk faction. Now this is made out of warriors that has no shields, but and trying to just get in there and do as much damage as possible. So you can see they're using dual wielding of hammers, cutlasses, axes, whatever I could recently think that they would be using. And this one is the last one I've made. You can see he's wearing a kraken torso, but normally I'm trying to have them wearing the older torsos from the Lego Vikings set, and I especially like this one where he literally is like almost like a barbarian type of character, and just giving him the kraken legs actually makes him fit really well in with the Kraken Knights, just because it stands out so much. But it also don't destroy the color scheme he is going with the brown on his body. The next faction I made was the Guardian faction. Now, these are characters that you can see I tried to save a little bit up on the shield using the normal Viking shields that we have to create this kind of lance faction that is both using spears and axes, but also I decided that if I can get my hands on more of a trident, I'm going to replace them all with tridents, with the idea of since they are seafaring and often fight characters that creatures of the sea, they are honored by using the trident as their weapon because of how deadly it is even underwater. But I didn't have these two just wielding a long axe and a spear. And all in all, I think they turned out pretty great. Then I have my little custom guy here, where he's still using one of the older Viking torso, but I gave him the Kraken shield to prove it, and then a custom built axe, which I actually really like. It's a pretty simple one, using some fun pieces. Next up we have what I call my Knight faction, which is kind of a little bit more the heavy fantasy like, where you can see I have a werewolf one, and they're both wielding some big swords. The idea of the Knight faction is I wanted to feel like that these are the heavy knights that when they go in they are like they're not leaving until everything is done, so their swords is often rigid and mostly destroyed, but still giving the authority of these are the big guys when they're fighting, but still using the shield. And you can see I also save a little bit upon using kraken shields here. Then we have my long axe guy I created with an old Viking torso and some newer legs, which I also gave a hook again to call back to that idea that they are these seafaring pirate that replacing their limbs as they are damaged in battle. And even the advisor I made using, I think it's the Viking torso and a pig leg for him, showing that even then they will still continue to become be seafarers or guardians of the village that I'm going to be making for them, hopefully in the future. And then we have my artillery unit, and this is where I really went into the idea of the pirate thing. You can see these guys look nothing like any of my other characters, because only one of them is literally wearing kraken shield, rest of them, other than that, they're only having the bandana, and this guy's literally just taken from the Viking village that is standing behind here. I know you cannot see it very well, but these two here you can see are using a musket and a flintlock pistol. And this is an idea that I haven't seen many really take to, that they are using gunpowder as the main weapon of the sea. And it's kind of why I wanted to make this Kraken faction in the first place, because it's really give them this different identity than just giving them bows or crossbows like pretty much all other knight factions have. And even makes sense if you going to make them a ship that they having some I forgot what it's called, but some pistols standing around just to grab and shoot with. And I kind of like this idea of them being these rough and tough range of characters. And lastly, we have my chieftain and my huntress I made. Now, she's more the traditional huntress using a green cape, just because I think it's kind of look good. And I took the Viking chieftain and just gave him the kraken legs, really giving the idea that he feels more important. I originally had him having an axe, but I decided to change it out with a golden cutlass, simply because, to call back to the two original ones, they were using cutlasses too, showcasing that he is still the leader of this faction, and it's easy to spot him, even if I placed him anywhere around here. Like, you easily see where he is because of this. And the huntresses I made is basically the idea that I wanted them to have some bow characters in them, and you can even see the character other there. So they're still using bows because they're just an effective weapon, and the guns is not completely safe always to use, where a bow is more reliable for everyday purpose. So yeah, this is my Kraken army, and I kind of like it, and I'm going to be expanding on it. Both the berserker form, the archery form, the heavy knight idea, and I just want to show it off to show that what I have done with this vending machine characters. And yeah, that's about it. Have a nice day. Bye.